this is Heather Jerome from heatherjerome.com and from the sonatasandpartitas.com. This video is going to be about the Borea in B minor from the first partita BWV 1002. Now, the video is dedicated to all you people who have taken the time after watching my videos or reading some of the articles on the Sonatas and Partitas website and told me that you think you're not very good at theory. So I wanted to make a video for people and for everybody that talks about very, very, very simple theoretical concepts in a way that everyone could understand. Now, the first thing that I want to kind of lay as a groundwork is why do we do theory? Well, when people ask me that, I always tell them it's because it helps me hear better. And then, well, how does it help me hear better? Well, how it helps me hear better is it helps me hear where the music's going and when it gets there and kind of how it gets there. And for example, if I just play this note, that just sounds like a note. It's a C. It's a C played on guitar, medium loud. It's pretty sound. But it's not doing anything. But if we make it go up a scale and then below, well, now it feels different. Now it feels like it's been landed on and it's a home base. So, and after we hear this, like I want to hear that. Or if I hear, now I want to hear it even more. There we go. And then we go, ah. And so that's like a most simple way of looking at music going somewhere and coming home and landing. So I want to look at this Borea in those terms. And I want to start off by looking at it in the most simple way you can look at music. Like, what's the most simple question you can ask yourself about it? And I think that question is it going up or down or staying the same? So let's see how Bach deals with this. Now, again, he starts off with a chord, and it's just a chord. Until he actually puts that chord to work, it's just a pretty sound. But once we start going to work with it, it comes alive. We're going down. Oh, now we're home. See, now we've landed here. And now, that sounds more like home. Like if we go, the piece could end there. Well, it'd be too short. But it feels, that chord feels different now. So now that he has established that, he started off at this high B and he's worked his way down to be an octave lower. He's made his point that we're in B minor. And what does he do? The first thing he does is he changes direction. And now we're going to start going up. Going up. Up higher. Higher. And a scale going up. All the way up. Now going back down. Oh, what's he doing in here? Oh, what's this? Well, this makes us want that. So now we have a new thing. We're waiting for it. And it's going to be a new home. And what does Bach do when he suddenly gives us this new thing to wait for? He makes the music stay the same. The bass creeps down, but the upper part stays the same. Oh, now we really want it. And so again, he goes all the way up and he works his way down. He goes from a high D down to the D an octave lower. So this is just a very little short sample of music where you can see that it's very carefully constructed in music going up, music going down. It sets us up to expect something, it gives us what we expect, and then it changes direction and does something else. So let's look at one other parameter in music. To look at this parameter, we can play a fun game that I learned from somebody I really admire, Jonathan Leithwood. And he calls that game team chord versus team scale. So we looked at what a scale was before. Just let's have a quick look at it again. So this is a scale. Now what can we say about this scale? We can say that it's going up and it can go down also. It's got one of every note and only one of every note. It doesn't have C, C sharp, D. It has exactly one of every pitch. Now what's a chord? Let's look at our good old C chord. Well, what notes are in a C chord? E, C, E, G, C, E. Now, we don't need to have all those repeated ones. We only need to have one of each. It'll still make a chord. So if we take out all the repeated notes, we can get rid of this one, we can get rid of this one, and we can get rid of that one. And we're left with C, E, and G. Well, the C, E, and G is the first, the third, and the fifth note of the scale. And that's a major chord. And what you'll notice about if you have a chord written out in music, whether it's written one at a time like that, or if it's written to be played all together, is that there's that gap. There's the little leap in there. So when you hear music that has a leap in it, it's usually part of a chord. Sometimes it's a little tricky to figure out like what the chord is exactly, because they don't always spell it out in this nice little tight format. But let's play our game. Team scale versus team chord.
Team chord starts off the game, but team scale soon butts in. And now they're working in harmony with each other. Listen to that cooperation, ladies and gents. Oh, but team chord has pushed team scale out of the way. But team scale gets its revenge with a full and complete scale. Oh, that got team chord on their feet. Listen to them go. Team scale is trying to get a word in edgewise. But now team chord sounds like they're getting tired, and team scale takes the lead and races across the finish line. But listen to them go now, ladies and gentlemen. It's party time and they're jamming together.
So that was just a fun way of looking at two very simple parameters in music. The thing about music is that it's not a spoken language. It's a language with sounds and feelings and gestures. And it's something that, is very important to approach intuitively. And it's also something that we really love. And sometimes when we really love something or we're trying to convey something about it, it's hard to do it with music because music is not a language of words. And so these theoretical concepts, even something as simple as, is this going up or going down? Is this a chord or a scale? Helps us to talk about what's cool about it. The thing about chord scale, I made that into a fun game, but the thing is you can actually take that and look at it and see like, how does this make it feel? How does it make it feel? Like when that whole scale comes up, that's a big deal. And then it keeps going back and forth between chord scale. And so it gives this, a feeling of discussion, a feeling of, conversation, and it's intense and it's exciting, and that's just one of the things that make it intense and exciting. But the point is that it's intense and exciting. The point isn't that's a scale and that's a chord. That would just be like dry theory. So the thing about music is that it's like it really uses your intuition, it uses your spontaneity, and it also uses your intellect. And the more you can use these two parts of your brains like at a higher and higher level, the better your artistry will be. So that is really my bottom heartfelt hope for all these videos that I'm doing. I'm hoping to, share the love that I have of this music and inspire people to just dig into it more and just keep making it better and better. So I hope you found this helpful. As always, let us know what you think at sonatasandpartitas.com. And if you'd like to be notified of when new videos get put up on the channel here, just subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications.